My name is John McLeod, age 35, born and raised right here in Vidalia, Georgia. Grew up on Roosevelt Street, very popular street here in the community. But I've been here all of my life pretty much. I have moved away, ventured away, came right back, and I found out this is what I love, and this is the place I love to be. Herbalife is, in my eyes and in my perspective, is the #1 nutrition company in the whole entire world. It's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. How I got in Herbalife is I started going to the gym after coming out of a bad divorce, feeling like I really had no reason to live. I was about 278 pounds. I really felt like, there's nothing, more for me to really do. I'm just gonna be here, just stuck here doing nothing. I was talking to a friend of mine and we just decided, I was really making a joke. I said, let's go into the Zumba class. And so she was like, okay, let's go. And I was like, nah, I was just, just making a joke or whatever. But we ended up going in the class and I ended up loving it. I love the class, and so I went on to be a Zumba instructor in a couple of months. I went to Savannah, got my certification. When I got my certification, I still really had no energy. I still really didn't have the motivation. I love Zumba. I love, the exercise and dance, but I really wasn't motivated. And then I came across these amazing product, and the product was called Lift Off. And what the product does, it gives you energy, makes you mentally focused. And so I took that product and I was like, I really, really like this because I really like, how it made me feel, how it gave me energy. So I went to the nutrition club and there's this crazy woman behind the counter. Her name is Amy Cruz, and she's like, hey, how are you doing? And we're having a wonderful day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've come to the wrong place because clearly this woman is on something. And come to find out, she's been doing Herbalife nutrition for a couple of years. And it's what her and her family do to sustain each other. So she got me interested in the products, and I began to try the products. And in my first 3 days, I lost 3.4 pounds and 1.5 inches off of my stomach in just my first 3 days. And I was like, this is something that I want to do. Never intended to sell Herbalife, never intended to be an independent distributor. I just wanted, it for myself. And so after seeing all the effects of what it was doing and the results that I was getting, people began to ask me, what is it that you're doing? What is it that you're doing? So I said, well, let me get a couple of 3-day trials and let me see, can I sell these to people and let them try so they can experience what I have been. And I ended up selling probably about 54, 55 3-day trials in that first 3 months time period. And so that's what really got me into this business. And I realized that, I can make a better me. This is not the body that I was designed to be in, because my body was designed to be a healthy body. Not just to exist, but to live life. It's been a hard, long process. When I first started, the weight started coming off really, really fast. My first 3 months, I had lost, I believe it was 44 pounds in the first 3 months. Doing my Zumba classes, exercising, doing my products, trying to eat healthy. And then you have those times where it feels like your body's stuck. And I remember being stuck for 4 weeks in the same place and, really just like wanting to quit and wanting to give up. But I kept pushing and kept pushing and kept pushing. And finally, after those 4 weeks, and I really don't know how, but automatically 7 pounds came off. And that's what kind of got me back remotivated to keep going, keep pushing. I was actually looking for a building to do an event in, and I went to Parton Park and I began to talk to Mr. James at Parton Park, and he was like, we're actually looking for a Zumba instructor. And so I was like, that's something I would like to do. And I said, I like to do it just to give back to the community, because what I've been given, I've been freely given. And I want to give it back, because I want people to know you don't just have to go through life just living in the current condition that you're in. You are designed, you are built, you're destined for greater. And so he has given us that building. We've been in that building now, I believe, for about 17 months. And he's given us that building with no charge whatsoever. We use that building whenever it's available to reach out to the community.
That's why I'm calling your name, 'cause I need you right now.
And I remember doing the exercises and doing the dance routines and everything. And I remember some days we had 3 people, some days we had 4 people. But I went and I still did it. I remember showing up for class and there was 1 person. And they said, I'll go home and come back next time. I said, no, you showed up. And since you showed up, your time is important to me. And so I have class just for you. And I've done that. And me just being consistent, me just constantly doing what I know I need to do and what I'm supposed to do. Class has built up to my greatest number so far last week. I had 76 adults in the class. So we've grown a lot. The community is growing. The community is hearing about it. We have people that travel from Reedsville. People are traveling from Collins. People will come from Mount Vernon just to come to the class because they see that it makes a difference. They feel better, not just in their bodies, but also they feel better in their minds and in their spirits. When it comes to nutrition, it's one of the things that we really push because 20% of our journey, whether we're trying to lose weight, whether we're trying to tone up, whether we're trying to build muscle, 20% of the journey is only fitness. A lot of people go to the gym, they stay 2 and 3 hours, they go to McDonald's, get a number 5 with extra large sweet tea, and they keep it moving. And it's really pointless. It's really a waste of time to do that because 80% of this journey is nutrition. I always tell my class, if you put junk in your body becomes junk. If you give your body good nutrition, then your body becomes healthy and nutritious and it repairs itself. What I do is, in Herbalife, we tell everybody, really simple. It doesn't take a lot of mathematics. It doesn't take a lot of, scientific discovery. We do 2 shakes per day, a healthy meal, and snacks in between. So basically my thing is I like to have my shake for breakfast. I have a snack, then I like to have a healthy lunch, snack in between that, and then for dinner, I have another shake. And when it comes to my dinner and my food choices, I recently switched over to the paleo lifestyle, and basically that means I eat a lot of things that are organic, grass-fed meats, cage-free eggs. I choose foods that are not full of antibiotics and steroids, and so I basically be doing vegetables, meats, fruits, and nuts. I cut out all grains, all dairies, all different kind of products like that. No added sugars. I substitute my sugar with coconut sugar, my flour with coconut flour. And people say, I don't know about that, but it's really good. It has the same effect. And I love just getting in the kitchen, kind of coming up with my own recipes, coming up with my own meals. And people say, you starve yourself to death. Me, I'm not. I eat all day long. I don't have a certain time that I cut off eating. If I get hungry at 11 p.m., I go eat some boiled eggs and bacon. I eat bacon almost every single day. The last 30 days of eating bacon every single day, I've lost 14.2 pounds and 4 inches off my stomach in the last 30 days. So it's all about what you put into your body that causes your body to function and work the way that it's supposed to. In the beginning of the journey, being at 278, I've never been comfortable with my body, ever. Matter of fact, the last time I think that I was even under 200 pounds was, I believe, 8th grade, which was 22 years ago. And that's one of the greatest things that's really pushing me to keep going. Just feeling like, you're nothing, that nobody wants you, nobody cares about you, nobody loves you. And what I discovered was, until I first began to love my own self, I can't expect anybody else to care about me or to love me. And so in this journey losing weight, I've become more confident, not conceited, but I've become more confident. You would never find me anywhere with my shirt off. Now I'm confident, of course I don't go out in public just with my shirt off, but if you've been following me on Facebook, I just recently started a challenge, 60-day belly be gone challenge. And I started this challenge because I was just inspired by my mentor, who I found also in Herbalife, Mr. Christopher Cook. Great friend, great mentor, but he was doing an ab challenge for 60 days. And he had major results. And I said, you know what, I want to do my own challenge. And I began to talk to him and he said, just go for whatever it is you're trying to do. Then that's what you make your challenge. So I came up with the 60-day belly be gone challenge. And so on this first day, what I have to do every single day, I have to post a picture of me without my shirt on so that people can see the progress in my midsection of the weight that I'm losing and the results that I'm getting. That was one of the greatest challenges because I've never been comfortable like that. And for me to do it, and I've been consistent with it, I'm supposed to post every single day. Today is day 39 of my 60-day journey. And so that journey has been amazing from 278 now to, I actually got on scale this morning from 278 to 207.4. So that's just it's a great accomplishment meant for me. And I just can't wait to get under 200 because once I get under 200, it'll be the first time I've been under 200 in over 22 years. I want people to know, a lot of times we just take things for what it is. A lot of times we go to doctor's appointments and the doctor tells us, you have diabetes or you have high blood pressure. And our thing is we always say, well, it runs in my family. It's hereditary, it's genetic. And I want people to know that these things are not genetic. It's not hereditary. And when you change the way that you treat your body begins to repair itself. It begins to do what it's supposed to do. So I encourage everybody, to push and to try and to just keep going and to know that you don't have to remain in that current state. But your desire to change must be greater than your desire to remain the same. It's one of my big quotes that I always quote in class, that you have to be willing to change more than you are willing to stay the same. And on this journey, I've said it, 20% is fitness, 80% is nutrition, but 100% is your mindset. If you can ever get your mind there and tell yourself, you know what, I can do this one day at a time, I can do this. And you can reach any goal that you set. Because we just don't want to go through life just existing. I'll look at people, we're just existing. One of the greatest things is when it comes especially to religion, we always talk about our bodies being the temple of the Holy Ghost. We are a temple of God. And being his temple, what do I do with my temple? How do I take care of my temple? He never meant for me just to go through this life, just eat what I want to. It's okay if I'm big, it's not worth it. But when it comes all down to it, it's really worth it. I tell myself every single day, no matter what the workout is, no matter how hard it is, I tell myself this is gonna be worth it. As I said in the beginning, a lot of times people say, it's hereditary. When I started this journey, before I began, I took 4 blood pressure pills per day. I believe I started that when I was probably about 31 years old, 4 blood pressure pills per day. And I just kept telling myself, I don't want this to be my life. I don't want this to be my story. As we always say, if you take Herbalife products, it's not a medicine, it doesn't heal anything, but anytime that you give your body good nutrition, it will automatically repair itself. So I went from taking 4 blood pressure pills per day to I currently take 0 every single day of my life. I no longer take blood pressure medicine. I keep a check on my blood pressure to make sure it's good. My mom is always fussing at me about, you need to take your medicine, you need to take your medicine. And I say, well, Mom, if I get up and it's 120/70, what am I gonna take medicine for? Because I've learned how to give my body what it needs so that it will repair itself. So one of the biggest things is, I look at people all around us, all around in the community, when I go in Walmart, when I go in any store, and I look at how obesity is just running rampant in our communities and in our nation, period. And what I've learned and I've discovered is that a lot of people are the way they are, not just because they sit and because they eat and they eat and they eat, just because it's what they want to do. I began to look and see where all of my eating habits were coming from, and I realized that it came from way back when, through abuse that I went through as a child, through physical abuse and through sexual abuse. And it was my way to find freedom, it's my way to find happiness, because food gave me peace and it gave me happiness. So I remember just sitting in a room and I could eat bags of powdered donuts, just bag after bag after bag, because it was my comfort place. It was my place to escape the pain and escape the reality of what had been going on as a child from about the age of 8 or 9 years old. And a lot of people are going through the same thing. They don't know how to escape and how to be healed from the things that they went through in their past. And so I just want people to know that, some people turn to alcohol, some people turn to drugs, but some people turn to food. Some people use that as a tool against the things that they've gone through in their past. And the thing that I want the world to see is that you can escape that. And I had to wake up one day and say, you know what? If I continue to let this happen, that person that did me wrong from over 30 years ago, they're going to be in control of my future from this point on. And so I had to wake up and I had to say, you know what? It's not worth it. It's not worth letting somebody control my life for the rest of the time that I have left on this earth. And so I had to say, you know what? You got to get up and you got to do something about it. Escape the pain in another way. And has it been hard? Yes. I remember sitting on the floor, just being around my coach, Coach Jerry. I remember sitting in the floor trying to do exercising that I couldn't even really do. I was trying hard as I could and couldn't do it. I remember sitting on the floor and just breaking down in tears because I didn't want to be the way I was anymore. And I remember him looking at me and him saying, sir, it's okay. You're going to get there. And the more he pushed and the more he encouraged and the more he said, you know what, just keep going. You're going to get better. You're going to get better. And I saw that every day. I said, I can, I will, and I must. You have to make up in your mind that you can, you will, and you must. I could have let the sexual abuse, I could have let the physical abuse I went through as a child, I could have let that hold me back. I could still be the same person, but I refuse to let somebody have that much control over my life. So we got to get up and we got to do every day what we have to do. Every single day, we got to want to change. We got to want better. We got to want to do better. We got to do everything that we can in order to get better. Because if we stay consistent and do what we have to do, it's all going to work out for our good.